All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Introduction to Options Trading. My name is Hugh. Good to have you here. It is Thursday, January the 14th, 2016, a little over 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Good to have you here. Going to say good afternoon to my good friend Jimmie. Jimmie, are you there? My co-host Jimmie, are you there? Hello, Jimmie. All right, Jimmie, you should be there. If he's not, I'm sure he'll join us. Okay, Jimmie, listen, I got to tell you, folks, it's a pretty exciting day here today. All right, made some money, and I'm going to show you how to make some money here too. So hopefully, anyway, we're going to give you the light version of live trading. The reason, geez, Jimmie, where are you? Hello, Jimmie, plug your microphone in. Come on, buddy. Okay. He'll be joining us, folks. I'm sure he'll be joining us. Listen, yeah, we're going to have a light version of options trading. I'm going to tell you about that in just a little bit. I'm actually going to bring that up for you right now. Let me just get this. We're just kind of trying a little something here for you because some people just don't believe it. This is the number one issue I have with people. They just don't believe that what we do is true and it works and everything else. So what I'm going to show you, and hopefully we can get this thing cooking here. Okay, now where is it? Let's pull up a chart. Here's a chart. This is a 5-minute chart. What I'm going to give you, folks, is the light version. In other words, I'm not going to show you the indicators I use because you're going to buy that and you're going to thank me for that. Okay, you're going to thank me. All right. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to pull up a 1-minute chart. Now, I do have the indicators on one of my other charts here, actually 2 of my other charts. In other words, what I'm going to do here this afternoon is kind of all over the place here. But first of all, I want to just tell you a little bit about what we're doing, and then we're going to get into actually trading. All right. So first of all, I want to tell you is that I have 3 screens. All right. So I'm going to show you one of the screens that I have, just one of the charts that I use. All right. But I'm not going to give you the indicators because that's what we sell. That's what we subscribe to. Okay. And you're gonna understand later. It's not fair to the Jimmies of the world, to the hundreds and hundreds of other people who actually paid for it. So I am going to show you a real trade. However, before we get started, I want to kind of go over what we are and who we're all about, what we're doing here. This is NoFearInvestor.com. This is the webinar. Go to an introduction to options trading on NoFearInvestor.com. So because you're here, all right, and you're coming through this marketing channel, if we do any business together, please go through No Fear Investor, simply so we can actually kind of track where the marketing efforts are and everything else. Everything is the same on this site as it is on our sister website, which is called estockoptionstrading.com. Okay, but you'll find everything right here on NoFearInvestor.com. So that's it. I'm going to kind of move along here. Also, I want to tell you, please use the questions box. You'll find the questions box on your GoToWebinar dashboard. And I want you to use that because this is an interactive session, and I'm going to be able to see the questions that come up on that and be able to perhaps answer your questions and comments in on that. So and if we can get Jimmie back here, he can tell you kind of what he did today, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I did today. So before we get started, I want to tell you what we're doing, especially for those people who are new to this, who may not be exposed to what we're doing. We're kind of advancing forward. We're kind of assuming that you've probably seen this introduction options trading webinar before, and or that you're familiar with options trading somewhat. You don't have to be familiar with everything that we do or talk about. That's not going to be an issue, okay? The thing is, I do want you to I just want to tell you that we use one stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day to earn 5% or more using our signature bread and butter strategy. Okay, so please use that. And I am going to bring Jimmie back up here. I actually had two logons for Jimmie, so hopefully this one is going to work. Jimmie, just chime right in here when you're online. So, all right. So this is what we discovered. This is what we're going to use. Now, what we do, folks, we day trade options on SPY. All right, I'm moving along quickly here because we day trade options on SPY. And this is what we do. We day trade. The idea of this exercise, the object of this exercise is to get in, make our money, and get out. All right, we're not here for the long haul. We're here for the short run, and we're going to make money, and we're going to trade options because options give you huge leverage. You can only lose what you put into the thing, so you're limited as far as your exposure. Okay, we're not going to have any margin calls, none of that wonderful stuff that can actually hurt you really deeply. okay? And we're also going to be trading on SPY, the S&P 500. That's the top 500 stocks. It's the basket of the best stocks in America, all right? Covers all the sectors, lots of liquidity. It's the highest traded thing out there. It trades till 4:15 every day. The options, I can trade $100,000 in options trading and get filled instantly, just like that. So we've got the combination of the very best program out there for you, all right? And that's what we do. That's all we do. No spreads. There will be no long-term trades here. We're not going to be in any naked positions, all right? No margin calls. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want to learn all about stocks and the 30,000 plus stocks out there and the endless strategies? Be happy to teach you that, folks. All right, you're going to pay me for it, and that's not a problem. It's not a threat or anything. Don't take it the wrong way. We do that, and I teach that, and it's $169 an hour. So please just sign up and go to the website, NoFearInvestor.com. Sign up right there for that, and I'd be happy to teach you. Trading tools, training right there. Just scroll down, and you're going to pay. This is it right here. If you want to learn all about the stock market, personal, one-on-one training, we can talk about anything you want. Spreads, we can talk about iron condors, butterflies, married calls, puts, covered calls, all that wonderful stuff. Or do you just want to make money? If you just want to make money, you're in the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I did this morning right here. This is an actual screenshot of my real trade. I did block out how many contracts I traded simply because that's really of my concern, and I don't want to sort of get it out there because some days I'm going to be trading anywhere from $1,000 up to many tens of thousands of dollars. So I don't put down how much money I actually trade or how many contracts, but what I do tell you is this here screenshot, just about everything else, okay? I tell you the date, the time, tell you what I got into, what I got out. Now, for those of you who are new to this and don't know what we're talking about, don't worry about the technical aspects of things, okay, folks? Because as you get into the training of what we do, you're going to quickly pick it up, okay? Hey, before I get too far into this, is sometimes I actually get very, very passionate about what we're talking about, and I get really high, high strung. So I tend to talk too fast. If you find that I talk too fast, please, by all means, just tell me to slow down. Or if I talk about something you don't really understand, then ask me that too. All right. But again, I just want to reiterate that we're not going to be giving you the secret sauce. You're going to be paying for that. And you're going to thank me for that. So, and I apologize in advance if this sounds arrogant, but I'm going to show you just what happens when you simply pay attention, learn what you need to learn, and pay attention and how much money you can possibly make in this business. It's absolutely uncanny. And I thank God every day that I live here where I can actually execute this, because I'm sure that in most parts of the world we do not have those, or they do not have that opportunity to do what we do. So let's certainly take advantage of it, folks. This is what I did here today. Okay, I got into the 188.5 calls for $1.75, and I sold at 328. This is it right here. If I'd bought just one contract, and I did buy more, I'm not going to kid you, all right, but one contract would have cost $175. The way it works is you take this number and you multiply it by 100, because each contract controls 100 underlying shares. So you multiply this by 100, okay? So what you do is that's it. Now, for the sake of this discussion, I'm going to exclude the commissions. So there's going to be a little bit of money going through to the broker for his commissions, okay? So, and I sold this for $3.28. So I got, my proceeds were $328. The cost was $175. My profit before commissions was $153. This is on one contract, folks. That's a percentage profit of 87.4%. Round trip was done in 31 minutes. Do the math. I got in at 10:13, out at 10:44. 31 minutes done before 11 o'clock, 87% profit. Now, if I'd have bought 10 contracts, okay, which is actually what I did, all right, my profit would have been what? $1,530, less a little bit for commissions, in half an hour, just over half an hour. This is not an unusual situation. This is not pie in the sky. This is not paper money. Jimmie, are you there? I can hear a little bit of it. Good afternoon, Jimmie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good to hear you, Jimmie, because I'm going to call on you in a little bit here, okay? I want to tell you something else here. I want to show you something else that we do. And by the way, everything you see here, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be able to get right here on NoFearInvestor.com. Everything. everything, and then some, and then more, okay? I'm going to tell you about something else too. This here is an email I got this morning. All right, this was, let me see if this gentleman's online. No, he is not. He's not online. The other day, this gentleman, actually, we've been going back and forth. He emailed me, he told me that he was in trouble. Okay. I'm going to save you the trouble of doing the math. Just know this. He was underwater by a lot. He was going to take a hit, all right, for roughly $500,000. His name is Rich. He's an American. He's currently in the Philippines. He and his wife do charity work in the Philippines. He's got some very lofty goals. He went all out before the end of the day. He asked me, what would you do? And I told him. We went back and forth. And he did what I asked him to do, or actually, I didn't ask him to do that. I should reiterate that. He did. He asked me what I would do, and I told him what I would do. And he did what I would do. And he ended up selling, believe it or not, for profit. And he ended up making something like $44,000 before commissions, or I'm sorry, that was after commissions. 44 some $1,000 after commissions. And he pulled this trade right out of the fire. Instead of losing $500,000, he ended up with a profit of over $44,000. He sent me this thing. He says, I give God all the credit with honorable mention for you guys. I can't thank you enough. He was in this very heavy, folks. He was in this thing for 5,004 contracts. Right?
Whoa.
I'm just showing you. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I just got a comment here from somebody here, a friend of his, Jimmie. He says, this is actually a guy we call Jethro. He's telling me he knows Rich. He says, Rich pays very high commissions with interactive brokers, being an international trader. Folks, I'm just trying to go through this real quick here. Today we have this thing called Pick of the Day. Again, you will find the Pick of the Day right here on NoFearInvestor.com. Simply scroll, go to the homepage right here, NoFearInvestor. Don't look at that ugly guy over there. That's me, folks. I can't believe it's on there. By the way, there's a new video coming out, Jimmie. Go to the right side here. Click over here. This is called the Pick of the Day, and we'll tell you about this later. But every day you get an email between 9:30 and 9 and 9:30 as to what the pick of the day is going to be. It's a very specific pick, and today this is what it was right here. All right, the January 29th expiration, 192 calls. This is it right here. This is a screenshot of the actual trade. Folks, the way this works, this is anchored in time. In other words, you're going to buy between 9:30 and 9:31 when the bid-ask prices settle and they come together and the option gets a grip as to where it wants to go, up or down. It doesn't matter, but it gets a grip. So that's when you buy. Now, had you purchased, this is the screenshot of that particular option. 192 calls for today, expiring January 29th. There it is right there. All right, this is it right here. See, I'm ahead of myself here. Let's go back up. There it is right there, 192 calls. Okay, so there we are. This is the screenshot of the option itself. Take a look. If you'd have got it here at the high, which between 9:30 and 9:31, I'm taking the high. In all likelihood, you would have got it cheaper. But I'm going very conservative. If you'd have got this picked this up at the high at the right at the beginning, you would have bought it for $2.36. There it is right there. If we drew a line, and your sell price, we're shooting for a 5% profit. That's all. 5% profit. You would have sold for $2.48. Well, I can tell you that as of now already, this option sold for $3.71. The day's not over yet. Already, there's 57% profit in this trade. Folks, happens all the time. Another service is called the launchpad. I'm going to go back here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, No Fear Investor. You're going to see this under products and services, subscriptions. There it is right there, launchpad. You can get this. You can get this. It's all subscription, all right? The launchpad triggers between 9:30 and 10 o'clock usually. This is based on a complicated algorithm based on a number of criteria. It's always going to be on SPY. It's all we trade. Red to go down, green to go up. Today it triggered red at 9:35. When it triggers red, all right, you're going to go to the downside. If it triggers green, you're going to go to the upside. When it triggers, you take a look at your 1 minute chart. All right, take a look at the 1 minute chart, and you're going to buy at, if it's going in your direction, you buy then. If it's not going in your direction, you wait for the candles to turn around. Then you buy, and then you put it up for sale. We consider a 6% profit target to be a success. If it comes in at 5.8%, we consider it a failure. All right? And it's been extremely, extremely successful. I think last year we had, I think it'd be a stretch if I said 5 or 6 trades that did not work out. Every day this triggers. Once again, it hit. All right, moving along. This is what happened. Here we go to the downside this morning at 9:35. This is what the chart looked like. The 1 minute candle of SPY, 9:35, it was going down. Guess what? You would have bought your puts right here. This is where it triggered. You would have bought your 189 puts. We're going to buy at the money, slightly out of the money, at the money, okay? So we bought the 189 puts. This is the chart of the put. 189 put at 9:35. It went from about $2.70, ran up to $3.56. Again, you're only shooting for 6%, but look at this. Already, there was almost 32% profit in this target, in this trade. Folks, so what I showed you here today, I made 87% on what I call the bread and butter strategy. There was already, what do we say, 50, 60, whatever it was, percent in the black card trader.
58, I believe.
Whatever it was, already black card trader, where did it go? There it is right there, 57% of the black card trader. And the launchpad already had a success of almost 32%. I can't tell you anymore, except you want some more proof. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up a chart. We're going to pull up, where did it go here? I'm going to give you this.
For all the folks that are watching, it may sound complicated, but it is very simple. Very simple. Just follow what Hugh says. Look over his shoulder, and you can't help but be a winner. I've had better than 90% winners since the inception.
Okay.
Yesterday I bought the 193 puts, bought them at 372, put them up for sale at 409. They filled. That was 9.9% yesterday, and I did not trade on Monday. Right now, I am in some calls.
You neophytes, calls means an option that where you expect the market to go up. Puts is where you're expecting the market to go down. So I am, and again, I'm keeping the secret sauce here secret because this is something you're going to be buying. So the way I see the market right now, I'm actually considering puts. I'm considering puts because of the indicators that I'm looking at right now. Therefore, I'm going to get into a trade. I'm going to just quickly use this as a paper trade account so you can see it. Okay, so you can see the action. I'm looking at here because it's at the money, 192.16. I'm going to pull this up. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this full page. Okay, so I hope you can see this all right. 1 minute chart. My actual real indicators that I'm using right now are on my other screen. All right, and again, it's because we, I want to keep some things back only because I don't want, because we're recording this, I'm not going to have somebody try and reverse engineer what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm showing you this, and I'm going to show you that I'm actually at this point in time I am interested in going with the puts. Going in with the puts. So I am, yes it is Thinkorswim. This is actually charts are courtesy of a TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. So right now I am looking at the puts. I'm waiting for an ideal time to get in. This is going to be based on the bread and butter strategy. I'm probably going to push it a little bit only because of, we're strapped for time and I don't want to sit here and watch you guys wait, definitely. But I suspect that these 192s is what I'm going to buy. So I'm going to place this, the order here for a single trade, 10 contracts. Currently I can get it for $1.12, $1.13. I'm going to place the order right here. And I just got filled. Right there I got filled for $1.11. I put my order in for $1.13. It just got filled for $1.11. Now, what I did here, I will show you again real quick. I enter, right click, I go buy single. I get this screen right up here. Now these are real numbers, by the way. This says simulation. It's not a real trade. It's because it's paper. But all the data on here is real-time data. See up here at the top right, top left, it says real-time data. So everything you see here is real-time. Now you might not have real-time data. That is because if that's the case, that means your trading platform is not funded. You're not funded. Your account is not funded. If your account is funded, all right, you should be getting real-time data. And in doing so, all right, and if you don't have real-time data, then you'll have to contact your broker and say, I have my account funded. Please put real-time data on my paper trade account. So when I place an order, this was actually a limit order, and I said my limit is $1.13. That does not mean that's what I'm going to pay for it. I could actually pay less for it. As it turned out, I ended up getting it for $1.11. Okay, $1.11. I always go for the ask price. That's what you're going to pay for it, the ask price, or perhaps a little bit less. If the market price is a little bit less, you're going to pay less. The bid price is what you would get if you were to want to sell it. Okay, so we're going to sell at the bid, buy at the ask. Okay, so that spread in there, the broker gets the spread. So if I turn around right now and sell it, what we call the mark is the price usually in the middle. Mark is actually short for market. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in the middle, but for our intents and purposes here for this discussion, I will consider the mark to be in between the bid and the ask. Okay, so in that regard, let's consider the actual market price is a negotiated price. It could be outside of these parameters. I just want you to know that. I always buy and sell at the bid and at limit orders. All right, so I ended up getting it for $1.11. All right, so I'm going to take the $1.11 and I'm going to multiply that by, actually I'm going to go 1.06. All right, the reason is because I figure I want to get 5%. All right, but I figure if I go for 6% and I give the broker his money, his percentage, that's probably going to be about a penny, right? So I don't mind that. If I go for 6%, I should be okay. So then immediately I'm going to multiply the $1.11 by 1.06, which comes to 1.1766. I'm going to round it up to $1.18. So right now I'm going to put it up for sale for $1.18. There's my SPY. There it is right there, the put. Ignore this other one up at the top. That was for some demonstration purposes. So I'm going to right-click here, create closing orders. So I've got 10 contracts. And I'm not going to hit the button yet. I'm going to go down here, this burgundy color, red color here. This is my sell order. So I'm going to change this, my sell price to, what do I say, $17.66. So I'm going to move that up to $1.18. $1.18. And then it says a day order. So if I do not sell by the end of the day, this order drops off the board. And there's a limit order, so I'm going to get at least $1.18 for this contract. I'm going to go confirm and send. Real quick, check this one more time. And the answer is that's what I want. Yes, I'm going to click on send. Right here, it shows that this order is now working. I'm going to make sure that I have just the fills and the working orders up on the board here. So we're going to see where it goes. Now, I'm going to look at the charts. Now, here's what's happening. All right? If the stock comes down about here, I should sell. Now, I see what you're all thinking. Oh my gosh, it's green and we're losing money. Sell, 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 sell. Trust me, don't worry about it, because it's going to probably, in all likelihood, I mean, nobody knows anything for sure, but in all likelihood, I'm going to get filled probably before the end of the session. All right, so while we're waiting for that, I'm going to go to the questions box, because there's a whole ton of questions here. All right, and again, everything you're going to see here is available on NoFearInvestor.com. That's where you need to go. Okay, so I got to congratulate, by the way, this morning, Jethro, Jimmie Dean. He made 5.2% over the last 33 minutes. So I'm suggesting here that he's probably talking about right now. Over the last 33 minutes, he made 5.2%. Congratulations, Jimmie, on that one. JP's in Maine. Good to have you here. The most predictable and reliable and simple technique. And he is, oh, by the way, he's already signed up, folks. I just want to remind you, we are going to be doing live trading for expiration day Friday, not this Friday, not tomorrow, but 1 week from now. It's only $60. If you haven't got your email on that, the Hughes News that's on that, let me know, and I will send you the link. All right? You want to get it on that. That's going to be an expiration date. It's going to be very exciting trading, high risk, okay, but high, huge potential as well. So that's going to be $60. So just make sure you get in on that if you're interested in that. All right, paper money always fills in the middle. Mike's saying that. Okay, but we're going to see. We're going to head down to the middle here. You actually hit $1.18 a few seconds after you bought it. Hugh, you filled it $1.18. I don't know. I don't think I did. I'm still open with it. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But it's $1.09 by $1.11. I'm right up in the mark there, so not worried about it. Folks, I'm not concerned about this. I'm not concerned at all about this trade. I am very excited. Even if it goes up, that's fine. And I tell you that because I'm looking at my other indicators right here on the other screen, so I can see where this is likely going to go. And I'm feeling very confident with this trade. My only regret right now is not doing it, not having done it in real money, and just doing it on paper trades. So, is it always at the money or in the money options? What determines which one you choose? TJ, I like to trade this one right here, right at the money, slightly out of the money. Okay, I find that gives me the best balance between price, my data loss, which is your time loss, my deltas. Now, I'll tell you one thing about trading today. The volatility is quite high. Okay, it's quite high. So I am looking at
Very high.
it's very high.
Very.
So there's an element of danger to that. Okay, I'm not going to kid you. All right, this is not. I don't want to coin the word easy or anything like that or simple. There's a technique to this, but you do have to pay attention. Okay, you do have to have some discipline and patience and all those other wonderful things. But I'm quite content with this trade right here, and we're going to take this until it does hit. All right. So another question here: if it breaks above 192.50, would you sell? If it breaks above 192.50, would I sell? No. Why would I sell? Then I'd be losing my money, right? Why would I be selling? I'd be losing my money. So if you don't want to lose money, don't sell for a loss. And we have ways of correcting trades gone bad. And in that program, all right, you will learn when to determine whether you should actually take the loss or manage the trade by averaging down or whatever. Okay, there are going to be days when you know what, this baby is done, and I am going to take the loss. I'm going to take the hit. Right now, would I take the hit? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I'm going to just sit through this and wait patiently for the stock to come back in my direction.
That is all spelled out in one of the ebooks called Correcting Trades, and I can't tell you how many times that has saved my posterior just following what is in the ebook, which is part of the actual full deal, and you get that along with 8 other books. And I can't tell you, I read one of those books every single week and rotate them.
Yeah. All right, we're going to watch this. All right. Now, admittedly, things are looking to the upside at the moment, but I'm not going to panic here. I got another comment here on the line here. It says, with options, I can see easily making 5% per day on SPY, but to limit your losses, your stop loss would have to be really close to your losses, really close, and your losses can mount up fast. That is true, and for that reason, all right, for that reason, we do not use stop losses. I know this is contrary to everything you've ever heard anywhere else, but guess what? We make money and maybe they don't. So it's not to say we don't manage our trades. Very much we manage our trades, folks, very much. But we don't use stop losses, okay? And I find that most people who do use stop losses, it really doesn't work for them because the stops take you out. Let me give you an example here as to what this is all about. We're going to leave this baby up on the board here. I'm going to just bring up what stops can do here. I'm giving you a lesson. Let's go back 10 days. I'm sure I could probably find something here as to what a stop loss can do to you. I have several already up on the board when it comes to that. I'm just trying to see. This is a nice example right here. And I say this because there's two fairly close to each other. Any of these babies here, I've seen several already on the board and going through them. You see these tall tails, tall wicks, right? You know what these things are, don't you? I know you're going to hear, oh, that's a mistake. People say that all the time. Well, that's bad data. I got news for you. There's no such thing as bad data. I know this sounds, it's not what you want to hear, but that's a load of crap. When somebody tells you that, it's not true. There's no bad. How can data be bad? Data is data. Let me show you what this is all about. Let's just take this one here. Let's say you had well, actually, I want to do it on the other side. This one here. Let's say, because it's just easier to envision. So here you are. All right, ignore this guy over here. Here you are. Let's say this was during market hours. This particular trade here was after hours. Okay? But this can happen during market hours just as easily as after hours. So let's say you had, this is what stop losses do. Let's say you had a loss, a stop loss. So the market is here. You're expecting the market to go here, right? Expecting it to go up and on and on. So you put a stop loss that would take you out, say, somewhere around here, or maybe somewhere down here, or anywhere along this line. Anywhere along this line, it'll take you out. I know it's not straight, but anywhere along this line, if your stop is way down here, leave a nice wide berth. Jimmie, it's a lot of noise back there. All right, please, Jimmie, all right, hang on a second. All right, good. I think he's muted. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's rearranging his furniture or something. Folks, my point here is if your stop was anywhere along this line, oh, this is crazy. What's that one? Remove that one. All right. The market makers, brokers, they put in orders way down here for the very reason to take out all of those stops that might be along the way here. Why? Because, see, they can see your order on the board. I don't know if you know this or not. They can actually see your orders. It's called level 2. Want to see what level 2 looks like? Trade grid, right here. Trade. This is called a level 2. All these orders, now they actually have, this is level 2. Now there's level 1, there's level 2. This here would be level 1, which you see up at the top here. This part here, you get the last change, bid ask, size. Very basic information as to what's happening now. Level 2 digs you a little bit deeper. Now they've got what's called level 3, all right, which takes you even deeper. They can actually see the orders in advance of you, and they can see your orders on there. Well, they might not see, Joe Blow's order in particular. Maybe they can, maybe they can't, but they see that there's a number of orders where they are. What I'm trying to tell you here is that with this level 2 sections here, the bid and the ask, you see the bid price over here and the bid size, and then over here on the right you see the ask size, the ask price and the ask size. And the higher the bid, more at the top it goes, the higher the ask, or the lower the ask, the higher it goes. So when there's actually a match here, then there's a sale. Of course, it happens so fast you don't see it. Okay. So anyway, what I'm trying to say to you is that they can see your orders. So if you have a stop loss way down there somewhere, you might have a stop loss way down here, and they can say, hey, look at all the orders down there. We're going to execute a sale. Take out those orders. And guess what? All those people with stops along this line just got taken out. Well, I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. The stock is not down there. It's still up here. It did not go down there. It's still up here. The price is still here. And it stayed up here for the longest time. So why would you use a stop loss? Now, you learn that and a whole bunch of other things with us, okay? I bet you nobody really tells you that. Maybe they do, but, it's not something that you hear a lot. That's what happens to stop losses. Let's get back to the charts. So we're still sitting here. We're still kind of hanging. All right, we're still hanging here. So let me just go back to some of the comments here while we're waiting for this thing to come into fruition. And again, because we are doing this sort of live and I'm kind of jumping in and out of this thing, it's obviously, it's taking a little longer. I'm not necessarily going to be waiting forever for this, but I suspect it's going to hit long before we finish up here. But I've got a question here. Okay, do you have your own indicators, or do you just use your own settings to standard indicators? Robert C. is asking this, do we have our own indicators or just use our own settings for some of the standard indicators? I would say it's a little of both, okay, and it's depending on how we use them and what combination and what it is that we're looking for. So most of them are going to be standard indicators with our own settings. but there's going to be a combination of a number of settings. It's not overly complex, and it is not something that you cannot understand or you need some sort of a degree in math or anything like that. Okay. Now we do have our own indicators. I mentioned the launchpad is actually an indicator that we use to trigger a trade, and that is a very complicated. I don't even know what the algorithm is on that. My associate Bert is the one that actually wrote that for his own use, and he made an awful lot of money on this. In fact, he was using it for himself. The idea was never to let other people use it or let them subscribe or anything else. The idea was for just to him to make a lot of money. Actually, an interesting story with Bert. Jimmie, you know the story, don't you? It's actually pretty funny. He
Oh yeah.
he was down about I can't remember now $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 or something. And I remember the day he came to me and he said, "Look, Hugh, I've been in and out. I made money, I lost money, but you know what? After this money is done, I'm finished. I'm not going to trade anymore. I just don't get this thing. I'm having so much trouble with this." He said, "But I'm going to do a couple of things. A couple of things he's going to do. Number one was, and by the way, he comes from." He's an analyst, okay, for a major steel company, and he's got a really good computer background, programming and different things. So he's very astute at what he does. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a program that is going to take into account a number of different things. Supply, demand, is going to, the trades, volume, he's going to assign values to news and world events, different things that are going to go on. So all this is going to kind of come into this big melting pot, and he's going to come out with with an algorithm that is going to trigger whether the program sees a move to the upside or to the downside, or not at all. Okay, so if the program does not recognize an imminent move, it's not going to trigger. All right, it's not going to trigger. So, but usually he's got it set to usually trigger between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. Okay, so it works pretty well for him. He said the other thing he's going to do is this: he's going to block out his buying power. So he simply went up to that and he clicked that on. Let me see how he can do that. I don't even know. I don't think he can maybe do this. I don't know. Maybe he can. Maybe he can't. He's clicked on this. So he blacked out his buying power. So he cannot see how much money he's going to have because he determined that this actually influences his trading, and he didn't want that to influence us. So that he blocked that out. And so then he would trade until the program would boot him out and not allow him to trade. So I remember the first time he came on and he said, "Well, I couldn't trade 10 contracts of SPY, so I had to trade 5." Okay, fine. And then a couple of days later, well, it traded. I can trade 20 contracts now, and then 30 and 40 and 50. It kept going up and up and up. And I said, "Well, you're making some money now. Aren't you going to see how much money you have?" So nope, I'm gonna assign a certain date, and I'm gonna open it up at that date. I forgot now what it was. I'm going back years here. And of course, we weren't doing this for any other purpose, just for his own benefit, right? And eventually, I remember when he told me, he came to me and said, "Hugh, guess what? It took 1,000 SPY contracts." I said, "Bert, you've got a lot of money in this thing. You've got an awful lot of money in this thing. You got to open it up." And eventually he did. And he had just under $1.1 million in his trading account. He was pretty ecstatic. And the funny thing is, he wouldn't tell his wife. For the longest time, he wouldn't tell his wife. And I kept bugging him, how can you keep this a secret from your wife? He said, "Are you kidding me? I'm going to tell her what on her birthday." So he took her on a cruise on her birthday. In fact, Bert's on a cruise right now. But he took her on a cruise on her birthday, and and that's when he revealed the news to her. I don't know whether she was really angry with him for not telling her earlier, or whether she was ecstatic because all of a sudden she had this money. And I asked her, "Oh, why would you keep this a secret?" He said, "Well, you got to understand, my wife's a teacher and she goes off to work every day, and it's really kind of nice. I don't have her, hovering around bugging me all day long. If I tell her I made all this money, what do you think she's going to do? She's going to quit her job, take early retirement, and away we go, right? She's going to hang around at home all day and just bug me." So so that made a lot of sense. Okay, fine, I get it. So, but that's what happened, and but now he's obviously enjoying a life of leisure, and he's actually on a cruise right now. They just went down to Miami yesterday and picked up a cruise ship, and they're doing the Caribbean cruise right now. They're going to be coming back for a month and then going back down to South America for another cruise. I think that's about a 3-week cruise that they're doing over there now. So,
Must be nice, right?
oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. But Jimmie, we've gone on cruises together. We've we've done a lot of stuff here together. It's this thing is working very well. One thing is right now, and I'm going to tell you now, sometimes these trades do not happen instantly. Okay, you have to wait for them, and sometimes you have to wait a little longer than you expect. So I'm just sitting here waiting. The trading is right now in a range, very much range bound right now, and you can see the range. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put up and I'm not in any hurry, right? But the trading is in a range right now, pretty well there, and so we are in the range. Now, I'm not going to show you much more than just what I'm showing you on this one, but we are going to, let me get rid of that. Okay, expand this a little bit, then bring the charts back up. Okay, again, when this baby starts coming back down here, I'm going to be 5%, or it's actually 6% higher than what I had in the past. And it looks like it's coming down right now. Now, I want to tell you, while we're waiting for this, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on. Okay, so I showed you some of the screenshots on what we're doing. I want to tell you that we actually have some pretty cool stuff. All right, so let me just go on here. Need more proof? I'm showing you right now. Folks, my good friend Joey Reynolds, veteran radio broadcaster, he says, if you want what I have, you have to do what I do. He's a very successful businessman, okay? As a matter of fact, very proud of the fact that he was the one that did all the marketing for the original Star Wars back in the 70s, and it's just been great ever since then. Anyway, that is so true. So what I'm here to tell you about is what we do and how you can become a part of it and how you can actually start making some serious money very quickly in this business, okay? Now, we've got the inner circle. Sorry, Jimmie?
I have just used the correction as stated in the ebook, How to Correct a Trade Gone Bad, and it's looking real good.
Okay. All right, question on this thing here before I forget is the timestamp Eastern. Yes, the time is Eastern time. It's Eastern time. Okay, all right. So I want to tell you about the inner circle. Every day, all right, every day we post what I'm looking to trade on this thing I call the inner circle. And let me just pull it up here. It's just the way I see the market at about 9:20 in the morning. It's a quick flash.
That is the first place I go every morning at 9:15 or 9:20. That's the first. I want to see what your sentiment is.
All right, it's a very brief synopsis of what I'm just a couple paragraphs here. It is at 9:05 I posted that what I saw the markets going, where I thought they were going to go. It seemed like prices were going to push higher. I did say that we might see. Okay, there might be. I don't know where I saw it, but I did say something about that. I thought that the markets may come back a little bit, but there's going to be essentially a longer-term upward move. And I write here some support resistance numbers. And here it is. I may be interested in the 190 call soon on market open for a 6% profit. This is this morning. So I already made a lot more than this. All right, this morning. So, but later in the day, and this is yesterday's results, I post my results as to what I actually did. All right. So yesterday's results were this. Goes on and on, talks about what I did. And at the end of the day, where is it? I picked up. All right. Okay. You know what? I had several trades here that I was actually in and out of. So I picked up 7.7 on the first trade, 6.2 on the second. Third trade, I picked up 7.3%. And in addition, I had another 6.6% in 19 minutes on a fourth trade. So I was finished here by 10:13 in the morning. So I mean, all told, what is that? 7, 13, 13, almost 14, 14, 14, 21, 21, 27, something like 27% for the day. So I mean, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. So the inner circle shows you this, including a screenshot of my actual trade, which is what this is right here. So later today on the inner circle, you're going to see the screenshot of today along with the final results. All right. And also you're going to be invited to our Thursday night cocktail hour webinars. This is where we get together every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, and we discuss the trades of the day as to what's kind of gone on, right? Now you can talk about anything that you want, whether it's your specific trades or whether it's the market or talk about some emotional issues or how you stayed in the trade or why you got out or whatever it is that you want. We also look at my inbox for the last week and see what sort of interesting questions came out of that. And so we can talk a lot about that. It's actually very engaging. It's very informative, very entertaining. So if you do miss it, you simply go back to the website and you can click here to view the archived versions. Okay, so click here to view the archived. So you got that. That's the inner circle. Now, it gets you in the loop. If nothing else, you're going to get into the test the waters, right? You want to put your feet in the water first, see if it's warm or cold or whatever, right? Before you jump right in. That's for those of you who may not be sure of what to do. But it gets you in the loop, and along with that too, of course, you're going to get our email support. And that, folks, is only $79 a month. The first week is free. All you have to do is go to NoFearInvestor.com and sign up. And when you do that, okay, No Fear Investor, you simply do this. You go to the website under Products and Services, scroll down to Inner Circle, click on the PayPal button. It does not charge you for 7 days. That's your free week. If you like what you see, don't do anything. Simply sit back. Then PayPal will charge you. If you don't like it, just cancel or let us know and we'll cancel for you. Okay? Because we understand that day trading and or our style may not be for everybody, so we're not expecting everybody to jump in on that. But that's the inner circle. It kind of gets you in the loop. Next thing we do is I'm going to tell you we have a full course deal. This is going to be 5 2-hour training webinars, folks. You get 8 ebooks as to what we talk about. 8 ebooks. Each is concise, it's timely, it's topical, there's no filler, no fluff, nothing like that. You'll also get a one-on-one session, an hour-long one-on-one session with me to be used in the next 6 months, and of course full email support. This course, we actually have live training sessions coming up in the next little while. All right. In fact, we do 3 or 4 a year. The next session is going to be a series of sessions. Is going to be at the end of this month. January the 29th to the 31st, Friday to Sunday, 5 sessions. They're going to be recorded, and you're going to have access to them for at least the next 3 months. Whether you're a novice or an experienced trader, you're going to need this, because even as an experienced trader, you're going to find that you're going to learn things that maybe you didn't know before, or things that maybe aren't working for you that maybe would be better served doing this course. Folks, the cost of this is only $1,500. If you don't want to pay the money or you don't have it, you can get PayPal financing. It's that easy. Jimmie, you have spent so much money in training, it's not even funny.
I could have bought my first house with the amount of money that I have spent. And I wish I'd have found you 20 years ago instead of 18 months ago. This has been absolutely golden. By the time you finish the full course deal, and I finished it, and I bought it all independently because there wasn't a package at that time. I paid over $2,000, and I went through the course twice in 3 weeks, and I was trading live, and it's been all positive since then. Last year, my first year, from May through December, I doubled my account. From January through December of last year, 2015, I tripled it. And I'm off to the races again in my 3rd year or 18th month. So, folks, I want to tell you this is for real. And Hugh does his best to work with you and make sure that you are successful. He doesn't just hand you the information and cut you loose. You have an opportunity to talk to it. So this is like getting your PhD in trading. So take advantage of it. Jump in and be ready for the real live trading where you can answer questions come the end of this month when we do the live trading sessions. It's golden.
Okay, now just looking at what's going on here on the 1-minute chart, market is still going up. I'm not too crazy about this because we did break out of the channel. So now I have an opportunity to watch for perhaps averaging in, all right, averaging down to bring my cost down. And let me just take a look here. I still totally believe in the move. Totally believe in the move, and I can't explain to you why, because that's giving away the secret. So what I'm going to do is I am going to average down because this is going to happen. Now those options, those put options I bought for $1.11, they're currently $1.80, 84 by 86. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some more right now. In fact, it's getting at a better price. Now I will tell you it may not be the ideal time to get in quite yet, but I'm going to take the chance anyway, simply because we're pressed for time. I am going to get in for a little bit higher. Come on, baby, go up higher. Okay, let's do it here. This is fine. Let's do it fine. So if I get it for 83 or 84, I'm happy. All right, so I'm buying for 84. All right, so I did get it for 84 cents. 84 cents. I'm going to cancel my sell order. So now I have 10 at $1.11, 10 at 84. 84 plus $1.11 divided by 2 is 97 and a half. 97 and a half, I better write that down. So my average buy price is 97 and a half. I'm going to take the 6% out of that. So my sell price should be $1.335. So $1.04. $1.04 should be my sell price. $1.04. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the monitor page right here. Right click, create closing order. $1.04. I'm going to put this up here for $1.04. Okay, $1.04. So I'm going to sell the whole thing for $1.04. Confirm, check it all out. Yes, send. Okay, assuming that that's the case, $1.04. All right, so we're going to just sit back and wait. Now the market obviously does not work always, right? On our terms, we have to roll with the market. But I have every confidence this is going to take place, and it's because of a particular indicator that I'm looking at. All right, and it's likely going to happen before 4 o'clock. So the question is how long you want to stick around for. However, let's get back to some more stuff that I want to tell you. We talked about the training. We talked a little bit about what we have here as far as, let me just go back up here. The training, the inner circle from current slide. Okay, the full course deal, folks, again, $1,500. Whether you're a novice, if you don't know anything about this is going to take you from soup to nuts. You're going to learn everything you need to know going through this full course deal. In fact, usually what happens, Jimmie, is I always have some people who are so excited on the Sunday night when they say to me, you know what, I can't wait for the market to open so I can start getting into this thing, even if it's in the paper trade account.
That's the way I was. Couldn't wait.
Yeah. All right, I got a question here. So when does this trade expire? Oh, yes, this one that I've got expiring, this is going to expire tomorrow. This particular one's going to expire tomorrow, okay? And so I'm not concerned because I've taken steps to correct it, and I'm prepared to take more steps to correct it should the need be. Right now, it is going against me. I'm not going to argue that because yes, it is, but that's fine. I've got an indicator that I'm using that I'm feeling very confident it's going to snap back at some point here.
I've got plenty of trading time in mine because mine is the first week of February. So there's different ways of doing this, and this is what Hugh does in his training session.
Yeah.
As he explains to you the difference.
This is just one technique. This is just one technique, okay? All right, Mike is saying here. All right, most brokers, including TOS, they have stop losses of on their own servers, not the SPY server, so they can't see the stop loss order. SPX and NASDAQ this year, sometimes maybe March will not. So I'm trying to see what kind of makes sense of this here. Just give me a second to read it. Oh, support stop losses. So most brokers stop losses are on their own servers. Okay, that's I'm sure that's true. They will see their stops somewhere, but the point is that even if they suspect there's stop losses in there, or even if they don't, they know that there are stops in it because a lot of traders have stops, right? So whether they see them or not is irrelevant. The fact is they know they're there and they're going to take them out. Are you crazy? The wife would spend all the money. All right. Can you practice your stuff using on demand or think back? You know what? Thinkorswim has this thing called on demand and think back. I don't use those. I just don't use them. You know what? I don't know why I don't use them. I don't have any reason to use them. Thinkorswim is an extremely powerful program, and I probably don't use. I don't know what all it has, so I can't even tell you a number because if I don't know how much stuff it has, it would be foolish for me to throw a number in there. But I know that most of the features that Thinkorswim has, I don't use. I only use what I need to use to make money, and that's really the only thing that's really sort of important here. Okay, so I use just the features, and those are the things that I teach. I don't teach you everything. I mean, I could go back and learn everything and teach you everything, but you don't need to know everything. That's not really important that you need to know everything. All you need to know is what you need to make money, right? Just like driving a car. Do you need to know how an engine works? An internal combustion engine or an electric motor or whatever you're driving? You need to know how all that works for you to drive the car? No, you're just interested. Just turn the key and put it in gear and off you go, right? That's kind of what's important. So, full course deal, folks. I'm really encouraging you to take this because you're going to get, I'll tell you something too. If you book this now, all right, not only are you going to get the January's sessions, all right, you're going to get invited to our January 29, 30, and 31st sessions, live sessions, but you're also going to be sent the last series of webinars that we had done in September, last September. So I'm going to send you the links to those so you can actually preview those and get into those first so you know what we're talking about, and you're essentially going to get like a 2-for-1 deal when it comes to that. So go through those, all right, because they're still all valid. Go through those, and you'll get a real great preview of what's to come, and then maybe even have some questions so that when we do the actual live trading sessions, you will be able to come to the party sort of knowing a lot already and not being sort of totally lost if you will be. So I think that's a great deal. You know what? I got to tell you, Jimmie, this is an outstanding deal. Outstanding deal. Oh.
I have paid 3 times that amount and 4 times that amount for packages that I was in and out of in less than a month. And I slap myself every time I think about you being out there and I couldn't find you.
Well, we're here now. All right. Something else I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the pick of the day. Pick of the day. This is that thing I showed you earlier. This is that feature we showed you earlier where you get the email every morning between 9 and 9:30. And it just simply identifies a particular option that is favored. And again, you simply buy it between 9:30 and 9:31 when the bid-ask spread settles in, and simply put it up for sale. Put it up for sale as a GTC order. Get to cancel because it might, even if it's held overnight, these trades are okay to hold overnight. The pick of the day, it's okay to hold those overnight. So put in a GTC order in and hold those babies overnight if need to, but you'll find that most of the time it fills very quickly. All right, and all you're doing is you are anchoring this at 9:30, 9:31, right at the market open, and you're going for 5% profit. Now, the advantage of this is for those people who are maybe not able to sit in front of a computer all day or much of the morning or whatever. A lot of people kind of work, and they can just maybe get into the program very briefly at that time of the day. So this is actually ideal for them. All right, so it's really good for them. Now, the cost of the pick of the day is, again, go to the home page, NoFearInvestor, scroll down on the right, click here. You'll find that the cost of this is only $50 a week. Get this. The first week is your trial week. First week is free. Simply subscribe, and once again, PayPal does not charge you for 7 days. If you're not impressed, cancel before the week is up and pay nothing. Cancel at any time. By the way, in case there are any losing positions, the training that we give you will show you how to cut those losses and manage those losses. All right, so you're not going to be putting all your money in and losing all your money, because we do go over all that in the training. That's why the two go hand in hand. Jimmie, you had a great suggestion of what was it? Get the training, but while you're doing the training, do the pick of the day, right?
Yes, exactly. I would be doing the pick of the day on paper for the first week or so while you're doing the training. And then after the first week, you can be doing live trading with the pick of the day while you're still learning. But you got to get the learning down. You got, I sound like I'm somebody out of the Ozarks. You've just got to get it down. You can't put pieces of this together. It's like a 1,000-piece puzzle, and you're missing 200 pieces. You're not going to put the puzzle together. You've got to have the entire package in order to be successful. Now, I realize that there's people out there that have bought and sold options before. This is like nothing you've ever seen before. And this is something that I can pass on to my son, who can pass it on to his son, and it's a skill that you've got for life.
That is really important. Actually, that's really good. And I know people who are doing that. In fact, I did that myself. My kids, this is what they know. This is what they're doing. I mean, right now they're doing other things as well, but and they're just using this as a bit of a hobby and sort of using this to fund their other activities, if you will. But they know this is where they're going to be at the end of the day. All right, but right now, I mean, my son said, listen, I didn't go through school to be an engineer just to not do engineering somewhere, and so he's all excited about it. And my daughter's teaching English as a second language over in Thailand, so she's enjoying life, likes to travel, and she'll be doing that whole Asian ring, I guess, after her term is up, and looking to see her by the spring or the summer, the way things are going for her. So, all right, so things are coming back up here, and I'm going to tell you, there may be a bit of a topping up here. I don't know. Looks like we may. I do see some indicators that suggest that we may come back up here and possibly come down. I would think that maybe we're going to start pulling back somewhere around here. Of course, this is conjecture, but based on.
No, John, I'm only 17 cents away from getting filled. So let's get that 17 cents and then drop.
Oh, you're going to the upside. Okay. Oh, yeah, I should mention, you folks, you could go to the upside or downside, all right? And one does not mean the other is wrong, okay? One does not mean that the one's right and the other is wrong. So Jimmie right now is looking to the upside. You need 17 cents, Jimmie?
Yep.
And let me see what I need. So my sell order here is sitting at 104, and I'm currently at 72, 73, 71. 104, where are we here? Say 71. So I need to go down 33 cents. Now I am looking at this week's expiration, right? I've got 1 day left. 1 day left, and Jimmie, you're in further out, right? You're in next week's?
Yeah, I'm in week 1 of February. I'm 2 weeks out.
2 weeks. Okay. Oh, okay. So you got lots of time. You got 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Okay. So Jimmie went further out. No problem. Okay, so we have a situation here. We did it did not hold true, my double topping, although my indicator is still suggesting that it's just still getting ready to come down to the downside. So I will just bear some patience here and just wait it out. The time is 3:06. The nice thing I like about SPY too is it does trade till 4:15 Eastern time every day as well. All right, so let's get back to some more questions here while we're waiting here.
While you're waiting, one of the best suggestions I have is do what I did and start off small. You can start with less than $1,000. I was making trades that were $400, $600, $800 for the first 3 to 4 weeks, and then I upped it a little bit in my 4th week, and now it's trades of $3,000 to $4,000, and quite frankly, I like to put it that I've taken the money out that I started with, and now I'm playing on the house's money.
Well, if you put in a trade for $3,000 and you're making, say, 6%, you're making, maybe a little under. You're making a couple $100. But let's say you do that 2, 3, 4 times a day. I mean, if you did that 3 times a day at, say, $200, that's $600 a day. And that's not bad, and that's just on and that's the same money over and over again, right? That's the same money. So you're not putting so much at risk that's going to break the bank should something go materially wrong on you or anything like that. And you just continually bring in this steady 5, 6, 7, 8% at every trade. and it just works very well. What I like to do is I just keep it on, and if I have another trade another time, so I have that. I manage my trades. I don't have too many trades on at once, and this way I can actually focus in on all the trades and stay focused on them to make sure that they're well managed. All right, another comment here. Jethro here, Jimmie, the other Jimmie. We got another Jimmie here. We call him Jethro. He said he is following your bread and butter. He says, I'm following your bread and butter strategy with the trading plan to turn $1,000 into $100,000. So he's doing that. We've got a plan. All right, so we do have a trading plan that does that. And if you want, I could bring that up and show you, but I kind of want to see what's going on here right now. I just want to watch this for a second, okay?
I'm 6 cents away.
6 cents away. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, so Steve's asking here, if the training class recordings typically expire after 3 months, then we'd have to pay again for the next round if we wanted to attend again. All right. Steve, I think if I recall, you have some training coming to you because you had purchased them before, and if you're the same person I'm thinking of, you're off on a ship. You're the captain of an oiler tanker, correct, Steve? If you wanted to just type that in, I don't want to kind of put you on the spot here, but if that is the case, then don't worry. I will make sure that you're taken care of. Okay, nobody loses with me on this stuff. Okay. All right, why not use the current weekly? TJ's asking here, why not use the current weekly option? Jimmie, you want to answer that one because you're 3 weeks out. That's a great question.
It's called insurance. It gives me time in case it goes against me, and I call it insurance. And that's spelled out in one of the e-books too. I'm a penny away.
Still hanging in there.
So he's got everything covered, and that is a book that I refer to quite a bit, and that's Repairing Bad Trades. That's one of the e-books that's in the series of 9.
You said you're a penny away. What option do you have? What's your target price on this, Jimmie?
I have February week 1, 193 calls.
And what's your target price?
My target price is $3.91.
You must be filled by now. If it's the same one we're talking about here, it's $4 and $4.05, $4.06, going higher. Okay. So you got to be filled by now. $4.01, $4.05?
According to mine, not yet.
Not yet, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, you're very close to it if you're not filled yet.
Very close to it.
All right, we're still stepping up here. We're still stepping up. Okay, so now what's happening is my indicators are starting to lighten up a little bit here. In other words, become less effective. If we don't get the snap back fairly soon, I may have to readjust again for my sell order. Okay, not a problem. I am every bit as confident that this thing is going to work. There are a couple things that are a little disturbing, and that's the fact that the futures are very high. The S&P futures are up to $45. The Dow is at 325, and the Qs are at 122. However, like I mentioned earlier, the key indicator that I'm looking at right now is actually pointing, getting ready to pull back. So we're going to see at what point this actually happens. I may come back and alter this for another averaging position, which I'm prepared to do. See, here's something else I do. Let's say I am prepared to invest, say, $5,000 into a trade, into a particular trade. I'm not going to put the full $5,000 in at first. I might start with $1,000 or $1,500. Then I will leg in as the price. If the price goes against me, I may leg in and leg in and leg in until I hit that 5,000 mark. And then I've got it for a relatively low entry point, average entry price, right? What's I going to say about this thing? Yeah, I mean it's just proper money management, which is what we teach you. So I am not adverse to holding on. Now, if the stock goes directly in my favor right away, I will expect more out of that stock rather than just say the 6 or 7%, because I don't have that much money into it. So if I'm prepared to say spend $5,000 on a trade, and I leg in at 1,500 for my initial trade, instead of shooting for 6 or 7%, I would probably want that particular trade to return something like 15% on for me. Okay, so that the dollars are there as well. Anyway, so a very complicated kind of a thing, and this is all stuff that we really do teach you and all that, and go over in great detail. So
Okay, I got taken out.
you did get taken out. Congratulations.
I made a mistake, and the mistake was in my favor for 9.1%. In at 358, out at 391.
Okay, sounds good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Pleasure's all mine.
You got out at 391. You got in at 358.
Yeah,
So you just picked up 9.2%, and that was on the calls, correct?
correct.
On the calls. Okay, sounds good.
And that's on 4K.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful, nice. All right, so Jimmie's bought insurance, and insurance cost him some money, whereas I am just going out on a limb on this one. All right, I'm going out on a limb. But Jimmie got insurance. His insurance is quite a bit, so it's going to cost quite a bit. It's like, it's like buying house insurance. You don't want your house to burn down. You don't want to have to use it, but believe me, if you come home one day and your house is on fire, it's really nice to know that you got that insurance, right? And that's really what Jimmie's doing. So just by paying that much more, he's also getting that back in his premium when he sells his options. So that's kind of where that's going. So let's go back to the charts here. Still hanging in there, still very hanging in there. So it's obviously taking a different path than what I initially thought, but that's okay. I'm not concerned. I may actually, depending on when I see the indicators on my other chart here, if it's going to take us all the way till 4 o'clock this afternoon, I don't know. All right, I don't know because it's going higher, and I think we may actually see, oddly enough, it's going, Jimmie, where I thought it was going to go this morning. On live trading this morning when I said that.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe I should have stuck with my original assessment there on live trading this morning.
I'll grab my $350 and I'll sleep well tonight.
Take your 350, absolutely. Okay, so there's a question here. Are you going to hold overnight if we don't get our target? Because you got a high theta. Well, the fact of the matter is this is actually on paper. All right, this one's on paper, so I don't lose any actually real money. I'll tell you what happened. I made my real money today already, so I'm quite content with that. But I did this one on paper just to show you here, so I can actually show you back and forth with the actual dollars here, because I don't want to show you my real account, obviously. But we are going higher, and it looks like this may actually materialize later rather than sooner. The thing to do with here maybe would be, well, there's no sense in getting in more because the market is still continuing its uptrend. Okay, this is not the time to average down. And if we are lucky enough to see the averaging down, then I will let you know. Right now, I can't see that at the moment.
It's kind of funny that after 6 months with the two professional traders, that's you and Bert, and following you, that all three of us have a different way of trading. It's very interesting, but this will teach you how to manage your money, when to get in, when to get out. It's just a lovely, easy program.
Yeah.
If it wasn't easy, I wouldn't be in it.
Well, I'll tell you, what you said is a great observation, Jimmie, because everybody is going to have their own style. All right, and no matter what, if you take 1,000 traders, there's going to be 1,000 different styles in that thing, and that's not to say that the program is a different program. It's just your style is slightly different because there are so many variations in this thing too. I mean, that's just what it is. It's not a reflection on the program. It's that people are going to have different risk tolerances, and entry and exits are going to be slightly off, or you're going to go with a different interpretation. But the methodology is the same. We use the same methodology. Now let me show you. Let me see if I can pull out of this here.
You know, some people just look for the 5 and 6%. I'm sorry, but I look for double digits.
Yeah.
And if it changes on me, fine, I'll get out at 7 or 8%. But I have been double digits since day one, May 4th of 2013.
Yeah.
I remember because that was a training day, and it was my birthday too.
There you go. Happy birthday.
Easy to remember.
I've got a question here about somebody's asking here what if he's an experienced trader, options trader, which course do you suggest? David, I would suggest that we have a little discussion on this, and by doing so, I think we can probably get a better feel for what you need, because everything is a little bit different, so I don't want to suggest that it's a one-size-fits-all. So what I would suggest to do is, if you want to talk, let's spend 20 minutes together to see how we can turn you into a great trader. The cost is free. It doesn't cost you anything there. Now, this is going to be a session where we're going to get together and we're going to discuss a customized training program for you. Okay, I'm not going to analyze your stocks or whatever trades you're in, or I don't care if you were in Krispy Kreme to the downside 3 years ago. That stuff's not going to be talked about. We're not going to have a lot of time, so we're just going to discuss what the best way to go about would that be. Okay, so contact us for details. All you have to do is go to NoFearInvestor.com, click on the contact us right here, the contact up at the top right, and you're going to get this page right here. Beautiful view of Manhattan right there. Just put your name, email address. Don't worry about your phone number, just a message. And we'll get in touch and we'll set up a brief one-on-one session. All right, it's going to be on GoToMeeting, so you'll be able to see my charts and my website and everything else. So we're going to discuss and go over as to what exactly we should probably do to proceed, even if you're an experienced trader. And that's true. I mean, as an experienced trader, you might not need everything, and that's fine. You might want to go with the live trading. We do live trading every Tuesday and Thursday morning, 9:20 to 11 o'clock. It's not an all-day event. It's not something that's going to tie up all your time, and it's not a drop-in center where people are going to say, "Oh, how you doing today, Mike? What are you doing?" And, nothing, just hanging out with the grandkids. It's not like that. These are events. People schedule their lives around these. I've got doctors who don't see their patients until after the live trading. So let's get together and schedule something in, and maybe we can work out something for you on that one. So just going to move this over. And of course, the more you engage, all right, the more you engage with the things that we do, the better trader you're going to be. I mean, that's just common sense. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you something here right now, okay? This training program we're talking about, all right, if you follow this, and we've got a trading plan actually, that you're going to learn with the trading plan that's going to take you from $1,000 to $100,000. Let me say this again here. Expect to turn $1,000 into $100,000 if you follow the rules. Let me repeat that. Through this training program, all right, listen up. Expect to turn $1,000 into $100,000 in 1 year if you follow the rules. Those people who are following the rules.
You gotta follow the rules. And TJ, you're asking the question, what is the insurance? You learn that in one of the training classes. That's not something we're going to divulge here. It's part of the package. You'll learn what the insurance is when you get into the program. And you can't do it with bits and pieces, as I mentioned before. You've got to have the whole program, and then you'll understand why you may need insurance once in a while. I know you've been around for a while, and we're just not going to divulge it until such time as you're ready to commit.
Jimmie, I'm going to jump the gun here. I am doubling in again, and what I did here was I bought more. All right, see what I did? I bought more here at $1, 66 cents, because the time on my indicators tells me now is a good time to get in, to double in again. So what I did here, all right, just to reiterate, all right, so my first trade, 10 contracts at $1.11. $1.11. Getting dark up here. You gotta put some lights on. $1.11. All right. $1.11 times 10 contracts. I'm in this thing for was it 1,100? Okay, so $1,110. 10 contracts. Another 10 contracts I bought for 84 cents. I'm in it for another $840. Now, what I did here was I just bought more. In fact, so I've got 20 contracts, right? So I bought 20 more contracts at 66 cents. 66 cents. 20 at 66 cents. So that is another $1,320. So I'm in this trade right now. 1320 plus 840 plus 1110. So I'm in this trade for 3270. Don't forget, $5,000 is what I'm looking to trade, right? But I'm in here at 40 contracts. So 3270 divided by 40, my average price is now 81.75 cents.
And your target?
Well, if I want 6% out of this, so my target will be 86.65, so call it 87 cents. So now I'm going to put it all up for sale for 87 cents. 87 cents. And it looks like it's really far away, but it's really not, because
mine was as much as 35 cents away and I got filled.
So 87 cents is my target. Now, where does this have to go? It has to go down roughly 50 cents. I will tell you it has to go down about 50 cents for me to get filled on this. Let me see if I can pull up the chart. All right, so 93.08. Once we drop under 93, look out below. I'm going to move this baby up higher because, oh, that's where it's supposed to be, right there. Okay, there it is, right there. About 92.40. Actually, that's probably going to be moving up as this drops. Is this going to fill? I would say there's a very strong likelihood that it will, because that's where it has to go. If you look at the overall chart on this one, again, I'm not going to reveal all my indicators here, but I have a very strong, and I'm going to remove all those other indicators here, remove all drawings.
Well, you got another day, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm feeling very confident that we're going to pull back to this point right here to get filled. Just going to watch this for a little bit. Now, I could actually, now don't forget, I was prepared to say spend $5,000, right? Now, I was waiting for another leg in, but I'm still, let's see, what I got? So $5,000, and I'm ready to go with $32.70 right now, so I still have another $1,730 I can invest in this trade. So let's say it's now $325. Let's see if this will work. $1,730. Let's divide that by 66. How many contracts I can buy? I can still buy another, what, 26 contracts roughly? So that'll bring me up to my $5,000, right? All right, so we just may do that just for the sake of this argument. So it's now 68 cents. Oh, geez, it's going up. I want to go down. All right, well, let's do that. That's
because you were placing the trade.
I was pushing the trade. Well, let's call it another, say, 25 contracts. Okay, another 25 contracts. Another 25 contracts at 66 cents. Confirm and send. I just got filled for 66 cents. So, okay, so another 25 contracts at 66 cents. 66 times 0.25. So I've got another $1,650. So I have actually in this trade 3270 plus 1650, which is 4920. 4920, which is around what I wanted to trade, right? The $5,000, right? And I have a total of let's see, 40, 50, 60, 65 contracts. 49.20 divided by 65. So my average price into this trade is 75.6923 cents. So call it 76 cents. Multiply that by, say, 6%. If I sell it for, 82.23, 80 cents, 0.23384. So if I sell it for 80, 81, let's just say 80 cents, just to round it down here. If I sell it for 80 cents, I'll be a very happy camper. 80 cents. Let's see where the price is right now. Well, I'm about a dime away. 10, 11 cents away. Where does this baby have to go for me to get down? It has to go down just about here. Does that count?
It looks like a lot, but it's not.
Oh, this will come by fast. This can come by real fast. I don't even think this is actually accurate, because that didn't really move. Might have moved a little bit, but not a whole lot. Should have moved a little bit more. And you're going to find that this is going to actually move with the change in delta and the change in the implied volatility and the change in theta and all that wonderful stuff. This is not a static kind of a number here. This is going to bounce around. And that's the thing with options. There are a lot of different factors playing on the option price. It's not just like a stock, right? A stock is very easy to trade. That's why it's so expensive. But you can just kind of sit and hold it for a while. With an option, you don't have the luxury of holding it. You want to get rid of it. I like the fact that we hit some resistance here at 193. We did bounce over a little bit. Not a big deal. Okay. We did go over 193 a little bit, but it's kind of held true pretty well. Now we're coming back down, and I expect that we're going to come back to this point here, hopefully before the end of 4:15. We've got another half hour or so. Okay.
I may not even trade tomorrow. I'm just short of 20% for the week, so who cares? I'll go do something fun tomorrow.
Exactly. And you know, Jimmie, that's what I do a lot too. Actually, I believe it or not, I like to go and have fun. You know.
I want to go see the movie 13 Hours, and I think tomorrow will be the day.
What's that about? Anything special that I might be interested in?
Benghazi.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
I read the book. Now I got to see the movie.
I saw The Big Short last week. I saw The Big Short, which is really kind of nice. Actually,
I read the book, and anybody that trades needs to read the book and see the movie.
So now we're just waiting patiently. Now there's going to be a little bit of support down here. I'm not going to kid you. I'm going to find some support right here. So we may see a little bouncing on there. Sorry?
I keep waiting to hear Bert, but Bert's on his way to the airport.
No, he's on a. I think he's on a cruise now. Actually, I think he's in Key West or something. I'm not sure where they are now. Somewhere out there. Oh, Jimmie, I'm glad to hear there are no planes flying overhead where you are. Jimmie's at the end of a runway here. Actually, no, you're on downwind or something, aren't you? You're in the flight path anyway.
I'm at the side of about a mile away from Addison Airport, and they seem to want to use my house as the pattern for their left bases. And those that fly know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, as long as they're not throwing things out of the plane and hitting your house. You know.
You're going to hit it. You're going to hit it, buddy.
I think so. We're going to hit. This is my target here. Let's see where we are here. I just want to make sure this is right. Don't forget, of course, my target price is 80 cents. Oh, wait a second. Hang on.
Yeah, it was 80 cents.
Was it 80 cents?
Yeah.
87. Okay, okay, so I've got 49.20 divided by 65 contracts. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my cost was 75.6, so 76 cents was my cost. I just sold for 87 cents, 40 contracts. It played out exactly the way I wanted it. I had in mind to trade up to $5,000. I had $4,920 in the trade with a total of 65 contracts, and I was in there for an average price of just under 76 cents. I sold for 87 less 76, 11 cents on a 76-cent option. Wait a second here. Is that right? What did I sell for? 87 cents. Yeah, divided by, an average of 76. Right? Let me just do these numbers again real quick. Yeah, that's right, 76.
And it didn't have to be 4,000. It could have been 400.
Yeah, so 87 divided by, say, 76. So actually it made 14.47%.
Outstanding.
I just made a little over 14%. Give the broker a little bit of money. Hey, you know what? I'm still 13% up. Is that so bad? And ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Now you were online here. Now I know you didn't see Jimmie's trade, but trust me, Jimmie was, this guy does this all the time, and he tells me all the time what he's doing. But you witnessed him making money on the upside, and you witnessed me making money on the downside when the market was generally heading up for most of this time, right? What time did we get in here?
Yesterday I traded puts. Today I traded calls.
Yeah, we started getting in here at 2:23, 223, we started to get into this trade, so somewhere around here. The put side, so we're expecting to go to the downside, all right? While the market was going up, we made money to the downside, all right?
Could have made money to the downside.
And it still went down even further. Now, if I was paying attention and not talking to you, guess what? That trade that I bought for just under 76 cents in total is now up to a dollar, 99 by dollar.
Oh,
I could have made on that trade right now, what did I say, 76? I could have made about 33, 35%. I'd be probably about 35% up right now on that trade if I was paying attention and not doing this session right now.
but do yourself a favor. Never look back. Never look back. Look forward.
I'm going to reiterate this, ladies and gentlemen. Through our training program, expect to turn $1,000 into $100,000 in 1 year, okay, if you follow the rules. Now, statistics show there's only 1 of 4 people out there who are going to take the next step. And I know you're not able to see who's around you, beside you, to the left or to the right, but if you can envision that they are probably not any better or worse than you, there's no reason you can't do this, folks. You don't need to be a genius to do this. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Jimmie, what university did you graduate from?
University of the United States Marine Corps, Semper Fi.
There you go. Now,
that's as far as I got.
Jimmie did it. There are a lot of people doing it, folks. Now, there's 3 kinds of people out there, those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who say what happened. Which one are you? If you have any questions, let me just see if there's any other questions here. Okay, let's get to some questions.
I encourage everybody to take that 15 or 20 minutes, if you haven't yet, and contact Hugh and work something out personally for yourself. He's not going to charge you. It's free, and it's 20 minutes of golden information.
Okay, never changed last. Okay, what if the trade went higher? What if the trade went higher and I ended up losing 5K? Okay, David's asking, well, what if the trade went higher and ended up losing the 5K? All right, let's talk about that for a second. Money management, number 1. All right, number 1. That's a good point. Let me see where to go. Just paper trade. Number 1, never, ever, ever, I don't care, I don't give a rat's behind who you are, never, ever put more money into a trade than you can afford to lose. Okay, that's number 1. Because every now and then, something does happen. See, when you put your money in a trade, it's kind of in a state of flux. It's out there floating, and it can go up, it can go down, it can go sideways, right? It can go anywhere. So what we're trying to do is anticipate where it's going to go. Are we ever wrong? Yes, of course we are. Nobody's ever 100% right. If anybody ever tells you they're 100% right, they never make a mistake. They never are, turn out to into a wrong trade, into a bad trade. They're lying to you. But what we did here is this. I got into a trade. Now my indicator said the trade is going to go down. But the pressure was still to the upside. It wasn't quite ripe. I kind of forced that trade because we're doing the session, okay? And that's the reason I forced it, because I still wanted to show you a trade. If I was really diligent in what I would probably trade, I probably would not have entered the trade until somewhere in here. But because I want to show you, so my indicators, those indicators I was looking at still supported that downward move. But I weathered this storm. What did I do? I had patience, I had discipline. In the face of adversity there, I still was able to manage the trade. I took the average down route. I ended up, and I ended up still. Here's a position went to the upside. You watched it happen firsthand, and I made 14% to the downside. Are you kidding me? Who does that? So that's what we do, and that's what you're going to do. Okay, that's what you're going to do. So I just wanted to make sure that you understand that training is actually vital in this business, and managing trades is business. It is vital in this business, and that's really what we do. Folks, I want to tell you here, yeah, this is actually that email, part of the email that from that gentleman that, okay, this is where it started. This is actually from a different webinar, but this is kind of where it started. Remember that guy told you that he's so happy he got out of this position with the 44,000 profit, and when he was down way quite a bit. Well, this is what he's written here. He said, this is actually from yesterday. Hugh, I'm in a bad way. Thanks so much for the quick reply. You were correct. In addition to my calls, I bought puts after you sent that email, made 8.6% on them. Then with divine intervention as my guide, I purchased another 2,002 calls, double down. Folks, I'm not kidding you. If you do the math here, this at the end of the day with 5,004 calls, he had well over $500,000 in this trade. Divine intervention plus your guidance makes for a great combination. I can't thank you enough. All right. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of the session. So what I'm going to do here is remind you again, where you need to be is this thing called NoFearInvestor.com. You're not going to get this anywhere else except estockoptiontrading.com. And I tell you that because that's our sister website. Outside of the circle of where we are here, nobody else does this that I know of. They follow us. We don't follow them. Folks, it doesn't take rocket science to do this. Please join us, okay? Please join us.
You just got done. Don't miss the boat.
All right. Well, thank you all. Thank you very much. Hope made some money, and thank you. It's been a pleasure. Hope to see you online. Oh, a couple things I want to mention real quick. We've got the training session at the end of the year, at the end of the month. The price for each webinar is only $149. There's 5 webinars. But if you take the entire package, you get a lot more because it's $1,500. So you're going to get the ebooks, you can get a whole bunch of other stuff. But the other thing is this. If you enjoyed this live trading, we're actually going to have an expiration day live trading session, not tomorrow, but the following Friday. It goes from 3 p.m. till 4:15. Cost is $60 if you're interested and you don't have the link. Let me know and I'll send you the link. We'll get you registered. We'll get you online. And any other questions, just email me. Been a pleasure. Thank you, Jimmie. Take care.
Heck, you're here.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Shaboom. Life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, hello, boom, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, lang, lang, lang. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Every time I look at you, something is all right. If you do what I want you to, baby, we be so high. Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, hello, for me to get boom, boom. Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and up for me, boom, boom, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Shaboom.